All right, everyone, welcome to Jahvohn Wants to Know. It is my pleasure to have the model Fabian with us. He's from Los Angeles, California. What's up, Fabian?
What's going on? Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me, Joanne. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, brother. Thank you for coming through. Um, as this show it's Jahvohn Wants to Know, and I just like to get to know people in the industry and get to know different things about them. I find that we all are more than what we kind of are seen for when we're out there. Some people, they may seem like a photographer, but they might be a music artist. We find out all these things. So I just want to know a little bit about you, Mr. Model Man. So, first of all, let's just start off and you tell the world who you are and what everything about you.
Okay, well, hello world. My name is Fabian. I'm from LA, and I'm pretty much your all-around artistic guy. I love to draw. I love to paint, poetry, photography. Not only is it fun to be in front of the camera, but it's also great to be behind it as well. I love photography. Um, Entertainment, music, dance, it's just always been something that I've been into ever since I can remember. And it's always been important to find my outlet to be able to express that with coming up as a young boy, as a young teen, up until like being an adult, and I think it's one of the best things that you can have to be able to find that outlet and be able to express yourself. It's another side of the normal life that we all live. It's another kind of like a getaway to be able to go to and tap into and be able to just enjoy yourself. So it's always been fun for me.
Yeah, that's good, man. What made you did mention you mentioned dance, you mentioned a lot of different things. You said photography. We'll talk about that in a second for sure. But what made you want to get into modeling? First of all, how tall are you?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I'm not your 6'1", 6'2", dude. I'm only like 5'8".
Okay, cool.
And that in itself, coming up, years back, I was told you're not tall enough. You can't walk the runway. You can do print, but you can't do runway. And it's just something that never really it didn't put me in a place as far as me believing what I was hearing. I didn't actually maneuver with thinking that, well, I'm being told I can't do that, so let me just forget about that. It
Right.
was always something that I felt like, well, work at it and just allow myself to eventually see that. And here we are.
Okay. Hey, that's real.
Here
That's
we are, and it's been good.
Yeah, that's real talk right there. And because once you said you wanted to be on the show, I had to go and look, at your pictures and see how things, how you evolved as a model and everything. And so I was like, okay, he's not really tall, but I want to, not assume it. And so now that goes into this question. Kind of went over a little bit of that, but it goes into the question, what made you want to pursue modeling? Especially hearing something like that, some people might have been discouraged. You weren't.
Yeah, yeah. Back to what I was saying about photography. It's always been something that ever since I was maybe 10 or 11, I've always carried a camera with me, disposable camera, Polaroid cameras, the vintage stuff, and it was something that I always wanted to capture different moments. It could be a tree I was walking by, it could be a child, it could be the kids in the family. But again, I also like to express myself with being in front of it. So I always bought magazines, Vibe magazine, Billboard magazine, every magazine back then that displayed the hottest fashions, the current celebrity.
Yeah.
I didn't really buy the magazines to actually read them. It was more so to look at the photos. And they always had the cool ads with the urban models, the guys and the women,
Right, right,
with the
right.
hottest fashions. I want to do this. This is something that I would love to express myself with, and I would take out the photos, and I put them on the wall, and that would be like my inspiration as to what I want to do. And when social media started becoming a platform where you can actually showcase that, meet people, connect, and be able to make that a reality, it was something that I just went for and worked at it. And little by little, it eventually grew from one opportunity to the next. And it was something that I just realized that this is something that I hold dear to me and what I love to do. So I'd like to continue on. And it's been something I've been doing ever since. And it's been great. It's been really great.
That's good. That's good to hear. When did you
Thank you.
start? Which year did you start doing it? How long, like basically how long have you been modeling?
I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a while. For a while. Wow. That's it's kind of hard for me to think back. I can't really remember the exact year, but I want to say I've been doing this for about maybe 12 years now. Consistent. Um, well, we can say maybe 12 years now. Off and on here and there. Just depends on the opportunity and I don't like to go into it just accepting and taking everything that comes my way. I gotta
Right.
genuinely feel like it's me, or if it's a time where I feel like I really want to express myself and get something out. Get even if it's frustration or something I might be going through, I can let that out on the stage, or being able to be around other people like myself who get it and who understand, where we both creatively come from as far as artists and being able to express that side of us. So I'd say about that time, about maybe 12 years now. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, 12 years. So you're definitely a seasoned vet. Okay,
Thank you.
I got another question I want to know is are you a parent?
No,
Oh, you're not a parent. Okay, wow.
not a parent.
That's a little rare, these days.
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah, just waiting for the right time. I was gonna ask you, will it affect, modeling and stuff like that? But yeah, you're not a parent, so well then let's talk about this. What is it like being a man in today's world? With everything you're seeing, dealing with, society, politics, women, it all, race, everything.
You, I think individually, I think everyone is different when it comes to a man, depending on your background, your foundation, how you were brought up. It all depends on who you are as a man and what you think for yourself, what you think is a man. Speaking for myself, I believe a man is someone who keeps his word as a man. Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Yeah.
And I go by that very strongly. And it's not to say, well, I'm just gonna say this and later on I don't um, you know, fall through. It's more so meaning it. And if you mean what you say and you keep your word, I believe that's one of the importance to being a man, a man of your word. And I think it's very important. Also, knowing how to put that guard down and knowing and understanding what love is.
Hmm.
If it's somebody that you love, that you're with, a family member, your mom, your dad, your siblings, nieces and nephews, you got to know how to love and you got to be able to express that and show that. You can't hold back and say, well, I care for you and I act like I care for you, but I don't really know how to show that love. As a man, I believe you should be able to know how to show that to the people that you love. I think it's very important.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit the key thing, one of the key things, and when you're talking about keeping your word, because it shows that you have a code for life when that's the first thing that come out when you're describing what a man is. And so many people they'll go into finance or they'll go into, all these different elements that's kind of like um self-growth things that they can showcase. But keeping your word is like something I think that makes people it's a code. It's just the way of life. It's not something that you can just not be someone that's a liar, someone that's a liar and then try to keep your word. You can't switch up. If you train yourself that way, it goes back to like when you were saying you don't do just any type of fashion show. It gotta fit, right? And the reason is because you're someone who keeps your word. So you make sure that it aligns before you're gonna say it, because once you say it, you're gonna go with it. And even sometimes in fashion shows, it might be where one might be a paid gig, one might not be a paid gig, one might be a favor, one might be for your exposure. You might have all these different reasons because I shoot them. But the
Of
thing is,
course.
when you commit, you gotta go all the way through. And that's why, you understand that that's part of it all. All right, good one, man. Like that's really gonna help a lot of people because a lot of people don't really get that part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also inspiring just for the young man that's watching you and inspired by you to just to hear you speak and express that he can learn from that and use that for his own self and gaining and try to you know bring that within his own upbringing as well too. So it's very important. I like the way you put that though, by the way. That was great.
Cool,
I
cool, cool.
felt it.
All right, hey, we're getting to know. We're getting to know. All right, here's a fun question. You know how we have our like Instagram feed and just be showing stuff, right? So out of these three choices, if only one could show up through your feed, which one would it be? Would it be um dancing videos, women twerk dancing videos? Would it be random fight videos? Or would it be food review videos? Only one could show for a whole month. Which one would it be?
Man, I love food.
Try to make it hard.
Okay. So you said food,
Yeah,
you
food,
said
random fight videos,
random fight videos
and
or
women
dancing
dancing, sexy women
women's
dancing.
work videos.
Yeah.
Well, off tops, the fighting videos are out. I
Okay.
don't want to see the negativity. I don't want to see that I feel bad and how could and why. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't let's take that out. So it's gonna have to be the food.
Hey.
Show me the recipes. I want it. Let me try it. I know what that's
Yeah.
like. I can cook it myself. I love to cook, so I'm gonna go with the food.
Yeah.
Off
Okay.
tops.
Two thumbs up. I would have
I
gone
won't
with
get
the same.
tired of seeing that. It will always be something for me to be entertained by. So yeah,
Yeah. I would have did that too. I would have eliminated the other two. Um,
for sure.
you can't lose with food, especially when you're finding out about that new spot that you didn't know about that opened up
I'm
down there.
always hungry. I'm always hungry, and I always.
I feel you. All right, good one. All right. Now I want to know your motto. What is the dream brand that you would model for if you had, the ultimate opportunity? And if that brand came to you, what would be like the thing that you tell them that will make them say, "Hey, this is our guy."
I'm gonna have to say Calvin Klein.
Okay. Why is that?
Calvin Klein just seems like it's my some off tops, just like my lane. I feel like I would have fun doing something like that. I've seen like behind the scenes, the photo shoots and what they do, and I just think that would be something. I'm very confident. I'm also confident in my body, and I believe it's something that's very important to when you're modeling, you got to be able to be diverse and also universal. You can't just put a limit on yourself.
From me getting to know you right now, you already have a great story. You started off as a young kid, you got into photography, and that opened up your eyes to so much about modeling and things like that, to the point that you put pictures all over your wall to see these different styles of modeling. You probably adapted some of those looks and stuff. And now you got to a point where, oh my God, I'm in front of Calvin Klein. And Calvin Klein, this everything that happened to me is the reason I'm here. Thank you for this opportunity, sir. You see what I'm saying? Like you already
Or,
know, so
of
never
course.
never over humble it. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever
Yeah,
you come, take that opportunity. You'll love it.
definitely.
That's
I
it.
agree.
All right, I got
Definitely.
I got a kind of a fun question. I mean, I just had to ask this question. Do anyone
Uh-oh.
say you remind them of Drake or any celebrity?
Definitely not Drake.
Okay.
Definitely not Drake. Let's see. Yeah, I've gotten throughout the years. I mean, do you mean like currently or just overall in my time of life
Well,
coming
you
up?
could do
Just
overall, and you could do a current one that you think people would know of right now. Because
okay. Oh,
I teach high school students, and I could tell them about somebody that was 10 years ago that's super hot popping, and they'll look at me like I'm talking a foreign language. So it's just all from a point of view anyway.
well, I say that because, throughout the years, people change, their images change, and once that image change, it's like you don't get that no more like you used to when that image that you used to have where people are comparing you and say, "Oh, you look like, such and such." But I've gotten Justin Timberlake back in the day.
Okay.
People saying that, I don't know, you got the same nose and you guys got the same, and it's just like Justin Timberlake?
Right.
Okay. Um Recently, currently, no. I mean, I've heard little small things like Maluma. I've heard one time with the hair down. But things like that. It's like it's a compliment at the end of the day because these people they're greats. They're out there. They're doing what they're doing, and it's awesome to be living out your dream. But I also have the confidence of an individual to where it's like. I don't see being compared to other people as a negative thing, but I put myself in the forefront of well, I've been doing this way before this person was noticed. I've been doing this way before, even if it's just a hairstyle or like a fashion. And sometimes it can be frustrating because it's like I'm not known worldwide like that. I don't have that platform by all means, but I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. So when a new artist comes out and they've been in the game for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and they're putting out a similar thing of who you are, you kind of sit back and you just kind of look like
Right.
this. I've been rocking this hair for years. This is my style. I've been doing this, for so long, and but I'm not known for that. The world doesn't know me like that. Like they know these people, so it kind of makes me think like, if my life were to transition into that. I wouldn't want to be compared to like, oh, well, look at this new guy that came out. Oh, well, he looks like this person, and we knew this person first, so he's copying or he's trying to be, But again, it's that lane to show and prove. You got to show the fans and the supporter, like if they're really down for you and they're really following you and they know your story, they're gonna see that this is something that's authentic and genuine, and it's been, and that's what separates you from the other person where it's like just with the eye, like you guys look similar, or you guys are both Latin artists, and you guys kind of have this similar thing going on. It's all about who you are that separates yourself from, the previous guy. But at the end of the day, it's all positive compliments. It's all I'm okay with it. It's
Right.
cool. It's fun.
And you say Latin artists are you do you do music?
I do music.
Okay. What type of music is that?
I've taken a break from it. I have a R&B pop group called Boulevard Dreams,
Okay.
and it's a four-member group, and we do R&B, pop, hip hop. We've released music. We've performed many different places. We have music videos. We've won shows. We've had a lot of fun with it, but we got to a point where individually we've all wanted to express our own solo things, and that's when my solo modeling stuff came in. It was my way of, we can do this when we get together, but also, as a solo artist, this is something that I like to do.
Nice.
And it's the same with them. They are solo artists. They do their solo music, solo things. So we branch out and we do our own things. We're friends. We're really close. We see each other all the time. But musically, when we feel like we want to get creative again and get together and start writing, and we'll plan a day to hit the studio, record, and then the next move is like a music video. And yeah, mu music is like what I was saying earlier, music and entertainment and dancing and modeling, every painting, drawing, cooking.
All the
I
creative.
loved it all.
Yeah,
It's just the niche is always there, so it's always just a different lane and a different way to express. So it's kind of hard to get bored when you have so much that you like to, put yourself into. So it's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Very, very therapeutic as well.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, it is.
all right, let me ask you about this. Since we kind of were in entertainment a little bit, um, what do you think about the way people reacted to when Jay-Z's company chose Bad Bunny to do the Super Bowl performance this February?
Um, when I first heard the news, naturally I thought it was great. Uh, what's the problem?
Right.
It's it goes back to that thing where it's like, okay, Bad Bunny, Puerto Rican artist, his music is Spanish, it's not English. We don't understand it. Why is this guy performing? It needs to be somebody that we understand. It needs to be someone, a rock artist or an artist that's, singing English. But when you have an artist of that platform that's mainstream, that's known worldwide, you're gonna have so many opinions
Yeah.
about something like that. It's the smaller artists that people don't really know about that get the less of the. There's not many comments. There's not much commentary on it. There's not much of a buzz behind it because it's not in a mainstream worldwide platform like a Bad Bunny or a Beyonce or a Michael Jackson. May he rest in peace. The greats that come out and do these things, and they've had to all go through that at some point in their time. So for Bad Bunny to be able to the Super Bowl, I think it's great. I'm watching. I'm not a big fan. I don't really know the music like that, but the music that I do listen to, if he's on the radio, I don't skip it. I let it play. I think it's
Right.
great. It makes me want to dance. I understand what he's saying. So for him to be able to have that platform and not only express himself, but to be able to connect with the Latino community on that type of platform like that, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I'm definitely supporting and I'm definitely watching. And again, people are gonna have their opinions, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
He's gonna do his thing, and it's gonna be great. Whatever it is that he decides to do, whoever he decides to bring on, Jennifer Lopez, who you never know. You never know. That's the beauty of the art of it, and watching and just taking it in for what it is. We had Jennifer and Shakira not too long ago. It was great, but the difference about that was they were singing English music so people, could understand. But even still, I'm pretty sure there were people who were like, why have they got these two Latina women up there? Why them? Why these two? But that's not the stuff that you really hear about because well, at the end of the day, they're pop stars, they're global. A lot of women, a lot of men find them sexy, attractive, talented. The music is popular, so it's more of a okay. Well, we know what this is about, but when it comes to Bad Bunny, it's more so like we don't understand that.
Mm.
Why? Why him? What are we watching for? So it's you know,
That's interesting, very interesting, good answers you answered. To me, you're just like me. I was like, when I first heard they chose him, I didn't hear all the crazy outside stuff, right? So it was like
thing.
my own feeling. So when I heard it,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool. That's just how it was.
yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool. Because what I do know, I don't listen to Bad Bunny either, but I hear his stuff on the radio, just like you say, and I don't skip. And if I'm at the club, I'm dancing to it. You know what I'm saying? So I automatically was thinking like, oh, it's gonna be a great show. And I was thinking like you, we don't know who he's bringing on there, so I was interested to see who he's collabed with because when I finally looked into him, I saw that he's like super worldwide. and he is a top male like artist that's being heard by the world. Like he's a top one. You know that I think it's top Latin artist. Like
Yeah,
yeah, it's over the whole world. So I'm like, okay, so you got everybody pretty much hear him. It's just us over here that probably don't really get him as much. So I was interested
yeah,
in what he's been up to and hear the music. You know, I saw now I did see his penthouse. I think it was either in Miami or New York. I saw someone do a real estate walkthrough it, and that mess is cold. I know he's paid. I know everybody like that guy because that mess.
Bad Bunny is everywhere. He's on
Yeah,
SNL. He's
right.
on all these late night talk shows. Anything that a major pop star would have in their career, he's doing that. He's all over. He's Calvin Klein. He did the Calvin Klein. He
Oh, yeah. He's a good
much
pick.
respect.
He's a good pick. It'll be a great show. Jay-Z and I'm very smart with that. So far, everything I've seen that they done was a wise choice for what was going on at the time and stuff. So it all makes sense. You know, we got the whole ice and stuff going on. Like it just all makes sense. You know, to
People don't like change, but
yeah, real.
it takes that great artist like that to step up and take that, So much respect to Bad Bunny for sure.
So I got another question. I want to know as a model, what is your biggest pet peeves?
My biggest pet peeve as a model, um, being around other models with bad hygiene.
What? Give me an example.
I'm sorry to say that, but that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't.
It's it can be it can be pretty bad because there's so much going on,
Yeah.
behind the scenes. There's people everywhere. You got your bags. It's crowded. Um, Sometimes the AC, you know, is not on or doesn't work. I can't really explain that. And there's, people that just, I guess they just show up to do their job, but they're not, before they get there, they're not, personal hygiene is not really there. So there's just times where it's unpleasant. You got to be working around that, and it's just like, there's no time to, you can't go to the nearest bathroom to change out of your clothes. You've got to do it right then and there. You see everything from everybody. They don't split up the women from the men. Everyone is all together. So, you stripping out of your clothes into another outfit because you got to hurry up and go on and walk and do this fashion designer's clothes, and then it's like, well, you're gonna go on to the next. You gotta come back. You gotta rush and take off that. You gotta get into the next. And sometimes you're around people, and it's just like, whoa.
Wow.
It it's that would be my biggest pet peeve, where it's just like it's not okay. But I mean, it comes with it, unfortunately, sometimes. So I would say that. I would say that for sure.
Okay, so models who's watching this show for their first time, listen to my man Fabian. Pack some extra deodorant in your bag, okay? And
Make sure
go ahead.
Make sure you shower before you come to work.
For
You
real.
got to put your lotion and your deodorant. You got to brush your teeth, brush your tongue, your mouth, your lips, all of that. Put your
All that.
cologne, your perfume. Impressions are everything. You don't want to be known for somebody who's coming in, and that can hurt you. No one wants to really, you see that. It's just kind of like, it might make you feel like, all right, well, I don't really want to work with this person again because of that. Hygiene at the workplace is very important, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, facts. And to speak for the fashion designers, they don't want to get their outfit back musty. You know what I'm saying? They did it. They didn't get
Yeah,
it.
you can keep this. Keep it.
Save their
Imagine.
money on that. They're not trying to have it get back like, oh my God, like this guy or girl. Yeah.
It's terrible.
But I'm gonna be a little transparent, okay? A little transparent because I do photography. Um, this happened to me recently. I went to Houston to do a fashion show, and I do my hygiene thing, So I went in there, but I'm working hard, and this lady I was sitting next to me, I sat next to her to change my lens, and she was like, wow, you have an incredible odor. And I was like, huh? She said, I love your odor. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I went in the restroom and I had my bag, so I went in there, I washed under there. I didn't smell nothing, but I did, I could tell I've been working, but I was like, what a peculiar word to use, odor, So I was like, do I smell, or is that her way of saying, she like my
Yeah,
smell? I was thrown off, bro, but I went in
yeah,
and I was like, just in case, what I'm saying? Know if she was a polite gesture or something. I didn't smell it that's my normal self, but I went and double checked.
yeah. Because normally you hear you smell good, or you smell
Yeah,
good, or what are you wearing?
yeah.
That smells. So the way she put that, yeah,
It
I
was
would have been thrown out too, because
uh,
that's a unique way for her to say it like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
very nice. It was. I was like, it's like she was a foreign because this was a whole foreign thing, that I was shooting. So
uh
she was a foreigner. So I was like, maybe that's a way. I didn't know, but I just had to go check for me. So things do happen. I do understand.
yeah, yeah, sure.
All right, tell me, I want to know this. What's your worst nightmare as a model?
My worst nightmare? That's a great question. What's my worst nightmare as a model? Um,
Or the worst
enjoy
experience?
enjoying the holidays too much. Thanksgiving,
I can see
your
that.
birthday, Christmas, put on the weight,
Right.
and you get called.
You get caught. You get caught right after the holiday.
And yeah, you're feeling like, oh, ready, I picked up, the holidays and the food and it can kind of mess with you a little bit because you know where you need to be, you know how you need to feel when you come in and doing your job. You got to have that confidence with everything that you do. Without the confidence, you can push yourself, but it's always a little bit harder versus having that confidence and coming in prepared and ready. So I would say that, around the time like now, Halloween, and then it's my birthday, and then it'd be Thanksgiving, and then Christmas,
Hmm.
and then, allowing yourself to indulge and eat with your family and, all that type of stuff. And, you get a great opportunity and you're feeling like, man, it's like a quick, I gotta stop, turn around, and you gotta just start working at yourself again. And, so I would say that that's been like a small fear of mine previously. So we could just say that yeah, that'll be it. Worrying about, your physique and where you're at, because you don't want to be up there feeling like, man, I don't really, and you're wearing something cool, but you're feeling like you don't look like it's supposed to because,
Yeah.
yeah. So it'll probably be that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's a good one. That makes sense to me, because I go hard on the holidays too, and it's like, hey, I start the year off good. The first 3 months, I'm working out good, but start getting
Yeah.
around my children's birthdays, and then just lead into the holidays. It's like, dang, I'm fighting. You know what I've
Yeah.
been doing now? For this is going on the fourth week, but I do Monday through Wednesday water only fast. Yeah.
I like that.
And I dropped 16 pounds, you know. I'm like, yo, this is really working. I mean, after I get off the fast, it's like three more come back, but I've been noticing it's like the stocks. It's like it's doing that. So,
Yeah.
but my goal is to just continue that process until the end of the year. Every week.
Congratulations.
The discipline that it's taken is first it started a little hard, but it's becoming like more of a lifestyle and an enjoyment to me, like doing that self-sacrifice and having a purpose for it, So and it'll help
I understand.
other things in your body.
Yeah, I
All right.
understand.
Okay, here's one. This is a fun one. Um, in your dating world, as a model too, because you're a model. I know y'all models get them. They come from all directions. But for let's say someone was interested in you, what would be the reason that they would pop the balloon on you?
Mm. See, when I think about that, it's all over the place.
Hmm, interesting.
It's like I gotta sit up here and just find the best example to be able to say, oh man, it can be stressful. It can be a lot. A lot of the times I just want to shut it off. I just want to shut it off because, whether I'm looking to date or not, it's like it's always there. It can be from social media, it can be from actual in person, it can be me coming to work or an event, and whether I walk or not, you always meet people, you always exchange information, so regardless of the lane and how you meet people, I would say probably just quick to throw nudes at me from my phone would be like like it just makes me feel like you're no different. It's nothing special. Like I didn't even get to work for it. I didn't even get
Okay.
to ask if I wanted to ask something like that 2, 3 weeks in, a month later, or even if it's not even through a picture, just hanging out with somebody. There's different levels to different things when it comes to getting to know somebody. And for me personally, I have to get to know somebody before I do anything. I wouldn't just meet somebody and just run off to go on a date or quick to date you. And there's got to be something that I have to find in you that I feel is compatible. We've got a lot in common for me to even be interested to want to continue to talk, you know. But I would just say that just quickly throwing pictures in the phone, showing what they think is their main way of getting your attention, or people that just assume, just throwing things out there, but in an assumption type of way where it's like, why don't you just ask? It's better to just ask and get a truthful answer because I believe honesty is your best policy versus assuming. So when you say pop that balloon, are you meaning that in a way that just like rubs you the wrong way? Where it's
Oh,
like
okay.
you're
So,
just
okay. What I mean, okay, so there is a little popular show out there called Pop the Balloon or Find Love, and it's basically they'll have the opposite sex, like 10 of them standing there, all have a balloon. And then they have someone come up and then that person will talk about themselves. And they'll say, hey, I'm this type of person and I'm looking for this type of person. And if you don't match, you just pop the balloon. Like if they say, I'm not looking to have kids and you have kids, they'll pop the balloon. So you just telling me that you'll pop the balloon if they're, over aggressive sexually, without you knowing them. Now tell me why would someone would pop the balloon on you?
damn.
I have to know.
So like just done with me, right? Like, all
Yeah,
right,
like they,
okay,
yeah,
moving on.
yeah,
All
moving
right.
on.
Probably just being too truthful. Sometimes I have this thing where it's like I don't if it's important enough with what the situation is, I won't take my time communicating with that and letting it be known because I believe, communication is very important. Without communication, you don't have anything.
Right.
But I also understand with certain people, if they don't understand that dynamic of communicating and keeping it real, and we're sitting here, we're talking, this is how I feel, this is what you're saying to me, this is what I'm saying to you. I won't necessarily be the guy where I'm thinking it, I'm feeling it, but I decide I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait and I'm gonna wait. So sometimes people might take that as, he's too quick to be upfront and tell me what it is. And for that, I don't like that. That rubs me the wrong way. So because of that, I don't want to hear about myself. I don't want to hear what I did or basically they not owning and taking accountability for what they might have said or done, and then just want to write me off and say, okay, moving on. He's too much for me because, he's basically letting me know what it is versus somebody who will appreciate that and say, thank you for being honest. Maybe I didn't realize that about myself, but you're helping me realize that. And because I like you, I want to continue to get to know you, I can respect that and appreciate that. And, because let me know. I'm open. Let me know if there's something I'm doing or I'm saying. If I'm not giving enough, if I'm giving too much, let's talk this out. You can talk to me and let me know. No offense. I can sit, I can listen, I can take it in, and I can take accountability and even apologize if I was wrong. So I would say just being too truthful too fast, and somebody would just write me off because they're not ready for it. So
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Now we get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
yeah, let's get to know each other.
right. Okay. This is a question I ask everybody, and this one is: if you like, say you had a time machine, you can go back to the past to your young self. What type of advice would you give yourself that you know would affect you in the way that you would want it to affect you in your present day or future?
I would tell that young Fabian, just to be strong.
Hmm.
To be strong, I know what that means now. I didn't know what that meant then, but I would tell him just to be strong and don't let what things people said back in school, the things that they did, don't allow that to affect you in a way where it's not allowing you to be the best person that you can be with growing up and finding myself and learning to become a young man, because I was bullied in school, a lot from boys
Wow.
that just they couldn't handle because I always had um the girls, the female friends and the attention of girls sending me notes, I like you and would you be my girlfriend? And a lot of, boys back then, man, kids can be evil, man. Kids are like, I personally went through that back in school with, guys who would just walk up behind me, flick the back of my ear, or shove you, or I remember this one time, it was terrible. I was drinking out of a water fountain, and some guy came behind and just like pushed my head down as I was drinking from the water fountain and
Ouch.
I hit my whole mouth
Yeah.
like on the little faucet thing, and it was just for no reason. I wasn't bad. I wasn't, when I went to school, I went to school. I was there. I did the work. I paid attention. There was never any reason for me to have issues and problems with people. I wasn't looking to, pick fights. I wasn't teasing anybody. Uh, anything of that nature, but they seen that I was somebody that was always presentable. I had the attention of the girls and I was liked a lot. And even though I was very shy, I didn't talk much, they can still see the type of energy that would be around me. And they couldn't handle it and take it, so I got messed with a lot and many different times back in school. So I hated school. I did not like school at all for that reason. So I would tell that young Fabian just to be stronger than what I was because now it's completely different. I've learned to grow, very thick skin years ago, and I carry that with me, and I allow my just my intelligence, my strength, and my inner self to just be the best that I can, and any type of interference of negativity or assumption or disrespect or people being inconsiderate, I'm the first one to just like kill it. Like I just write it off. I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to see you again. Lose my number. Don't I don't like the way that makes me feel. I
Yeah.
like to keep things positive and peaceful and lovable, you know. So if it's not going to be that, I don't trust it. Therefore, I don't want to be around it.
Yeah. And that's a it's a testament to, who you are right now, as what you said, and as I got to know you today, because here you said, you're young and these guys are jealous, trying to bully you because, you had attention of girls, but you were somewhat shy. But here you are, you're a whole model now, bro. So the shyness is gone. You still get the attention of the girls and other people. And it just shows that you already were strong. As it says, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And obviously you were able to utilize that to give you strength to get you to where you are right now. You seem very confident and know yourself and a good person, So it's been my pleasure to get to know you on Jahvohn Wants to Know. Before we
Thank
get out
you.
of here, you're welcome. Before you get out of here, I want you to go ahead and let everybody know how they can find you on social medias. If there's anybody you want to get a shout out to, you can do that right now. The floor is yours.
What's up, everybody? This is Fabian. You can find me on Instagram at Fabian.exalted. You can find me on TikTok, the same Fabian.exalted. YouTube, I believe it's that one's a little different. I think it's uh Fabian Roman. Roman, that's gonna be Roman, my last name. And special shout outs to you, man. You're doing your thing, Jahvohn. This is great. I really appreciate the opportunity. I've been looking at your page for the longest. Your work is great. The people that you work with look great, and it's just a whole movement in itself. So I want to give a special shout out to you for having me. I really appreciate it. Also to my family out there, my close friends. Let's enjoy this October, Halloween around the corner. Let's keep the positivity, the love, and honesty is our best policy. So let's keep that. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Tune in, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Keep them comments coming too. Have questions for me to ask on the next episode.